Hey guys, so I'm going to do a video on how I do a French tip or a white tip pedicure. Since this upcoming summer months are right around the corner, I figured this might help out some of you save a little bit of money by just doing it yourself. So if you're interested, just keep watching. Okay guys, when I'm at home and I want to do my own pedicure, I usually go for a white tip pedicure. To do that, I use the following. I use Sally Hansen's Instant Dry in Whirlwind White, and I use OPI's Start to Finish in Base and Top Coat, and I usually finish up with OPI's Drip Dry to speed up the drying process, make sure I don't get any dings or anything. I also use a flat makeup brush. This is an old Sonia Kashuk brush that I never used, so I started using it for my pedicures and it works perfectly. And you also want to use some kind of nail polish remover. I picked a nourishing formula or a moisturizing formula so it's not as harsh on your nails. I picked this up at CVS, I believe, for about like $1.50, $2, something like that. And you'll also want to have a piece of paper towel or maybe an old rag that you can use. The first thing I do is I have my nail polish remover actually put in the cap of the nail polish bottle, and I have my brush here, which I had to soften up a bit in the nail polish remover to get it ready. And then I'm going to take my white nail polish, the Sally Hansen Instant Dry, and I've already shaken it up pretty good. And I'm just going to get some of this polish out, not too much of it. You don't want big globs rolling down. And I'm just going to concentrate the white, oops, there's a big glob rolling down, the white right on the tip of the toenail. Don't worry about making a straight line. Just put it right at the tip, because we'll go back and straighten it out. Do that to each nail. And let it dry for just a couple of minutes. Once you've let it dry for about just like a minute or so, I'm going to go back in and do a second coat of the same white, because the first time around it's kind of opaque a little bit still, but I want it to be very solid white, so I'm going to go back and do a second layer. I just use my finger now. If I missed any spots or I accidentally got it on the skin where I don't want it to be. I'll just use my fingernail and wipe it off really quick. But most of the time I don't worry too much about my feet because it'll just come off naturally. I'm even going to go back and do another layer on my big toe because it just isn't coming out as solid white as I want it to be. There we go. Okay, the next step is to actually start making the white lines evening them out. What I do is I take my brush and I dip it into the nail polish remover. Try to get it as soft as possible. Sometimes they'll get a little hardened up. You want to wipe it off a little bit. And then you want to make sure that the brush is saturated good. You want to go to your first toe and start rubbing the remover on there, and you start to straighten out your line the way that you want. And you get to decide how big you want that white line to be or not. You're going to wipe that off every once in a while too, because the brush will start to get a lot of the white on there. Generally, I just keep it as straight as possible with a slight curve, almost like mirror your own natural nail bed. You can do this on your nails too, the same method to get the white tips if you wanted to do your manicure like this too. Okay, at this point you just want to make sure that you have all the nails almost at the same size, just about. And you want to make sure that you are comfortable with how big the white line is on your big toe from when you look down. Sometimes if it's too big, it looks a little like unnatural. So, and it's completely up to you how you want to do it. I'm just rubbing some of the white off that I got on there. So, move on to the next step. Okay guys, at this next point I already did my other foot, but I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys with that whole process again. So the next part that I would do after I've done the white tip and I've matched this foot to the other foot and made sure that the white lines are about the same size on all of the toes and that I'm happy with them. You want to let the white dry just a little bit before you put on your clear coat, because if you don't let it dry, you can actually the clear coat will run into the white and make it like smeared white, so you don't want to do that. So at this point I'm just going to use